Joining me now is Peter Brooks. He's a former CIA officer and Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense. He's now a senior fellow at the Heritage Foundation. Thanks for joining us. I appreciate it. Russia is alleging that this is a CIA spy. Judging from the evidence that we've seen, the wigs, the sunglasses, do you believe them?
I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure that this is the case. There could be some theater here, too. The Russians like to play this up when they get a spy. Remember, Putin, former KGB officer, is president of the country. There are tensions in the relationship over a whole host of things. So if they did get somebody involved in espionage, they may want to deter, further espionage as well as Russians from participating in espionage. So there may be some theater involved here.
The other part that seems like theater, because it just can't be that a CIA official would be this stupid, is that some Russia outlets, like Russia Today, are reporting on the English translation of a letter they obtained from Mr. Fogel. It includes telling a potential double agent to go to an internet cafe, create a Gmail account, don't use your personal information. And it's written down. It seems like this is the kind of thing, this kind of letter would never be written. What's your take as a former CIA
officer? I agree.
Officer?
If it's true, it's certainly not our best moment if this is a true case, right? You wouldn't want that on your agent. You would not be caught with that in your pocket, even if the police stop you when they find it. It could have been put together by the Russians to try to make this more dramatic than it perhaps might be otherwise.
And I want to read the statement from the Russian Foreign Ministry about this. The U.S. might be silent, but the Russians sure are not being.
Right.
While the presidents of our countries reaffirm their readiness to expand bilateral cooperation, including the cooperation of intelligence agencies in fighting international terrorism, such provocative actions in the spirit of the Cold War does not contribute to building mutual trust. What's interesting is that they would allude to all the difficulties that the U.S. and Russia had in the Boston Marathon terrorist attacks, and the fact that the U.S. has been faulting Russia for not being as forthcoming. And now they're making it seem as though the U.S., we're the ones that have the Cold War mentality.
Yeah, they're playing the victim here. It's the height of hypocrisy. In fact, one of the most aggressive intelligence services right here in Washington, in the United States, are the Russians. Probably, along with the Chinese. So this is a joke in that respect. Now, the thing here I would say is that I would hope that if there was an intelligence operations, that perhaps we're going at that information that the Russians didn't give us that could have prevented Boston. That might be what is going on here. We may have been overly aggressive to try to get at people who could tell us about that, because my view is there's no such thing as a friendly intelligence service. They don't tell you everything, but there is information that the United States needs to know overseas for our national security.
And lastly, give us the long view here. How much does this incident today hurt long-term U.S.-Russia relations?
I think it's a blip. There could be a tit-for-tat, an additional officer, getting kicked out. It's not going to be like Robert Hanssen in 2001, where we kicked out 50, or 1986 with Ronald Reagan, where they kicked out 80 Russian intelligence officers. But my expectation is that this was a deterrence, this was a signal, and it'll probably go away rather quickly.
Did you ever wear one of those wigs? Did you ever wear one of those?
Not a good look. Not a good look. I don't recommend it,
I would
Jake.
recommend it against it. It might look good on you. It might look good on you. Peter Brooks, thanks so much.